Back now to the latest on the government shutdown. And in particular, I'd like to get a congressional perspective of it all. And joining me now to discuss this and more is Congressman Chuck Edwards. He's a member of the House Appropriations Committee as well as the Budget Committee, and he represents the 11th Congressional District of the great state of North Carolina. Congressman Edwards, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Good to have you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, look, before we get to the shutdown, which I certainly want to get to, I would love to get your thoughts on the No Kings protests over the weekend. While certainly most of them, as already has been noted, were free of violence, there was some pretty violent rhetoric that was on display at it all. What was your thoughts with it?
Well, you know, I wasn't there. I didn't see actually what took place. I find it extremely interesting that we see this level of theatrics from folks that really are distracting from the issues at hand right now, which are getting our government funded and operational again. I think it's interesting that so many folks want to protest what President Trump is doing, what he has accomplished. What he says he wants to help us accomplish. They're just still angry that he won the election, but we're remaining focused on trying to get the government open.
That's what it seems to really come down to, and many have noted the irony of these demonstrations. In fact, Speaker Johnson, we had a clip of him moments ago about it. But if President Trump was a king, the government would be open right now, wouldn't it?
That would certainly be the case. And President Trump would be the first to admit that he's not a king. He's part of a republic of this great nation. And again, they're just frustrated that he was elected, and this is their opportunity to get out in the public eye and remind folks they wish the election had gone some other way.
Yep. Well, speaking of the opening the government, the Senate is scheduled yet again to vote, I believe now for the 11th time, on advancing the clean House-passed continuing resolution to fund the government. Are you hearing any indication that we might see some movement on the votes? What are you hearing?
What I'm hearing right now is that the constituents in the districts of those senators that are continuing to say no to funding the government are getting more and more restless. They're beginning to recognize that the military will not be receiving checks here in just a short time. They're beginning to realize that they will not be receiving SNAP payments and WIC payments, and that other government services disruption will be beginning to show through, and the constituents in those districts are getting noisier and noisier. And I believe we're going to see a number of Senate Democrats switch over and decide to reopen the government.
Well, I sure hope you're right. You know, we hear a lot, and we've been hearing for the last few weeks a lot about how the government shutdown hurts certain individual service members, for example, federal workers, but it also impacts everyday people. And you represent a district where I suppose that is as real as anyone else in Congress. This time or so last year, of course, the huge hurricane came through your district and did catastrophic damage all throughout the Southeast, but your district in particular was hit. And you still have people right now suffering, and they need some help, some assistance. Tell us the impact that the shutdown is having on them.
Well, certainly with FEMA, USDA, HUD, and others being having their operations disrupted so much, we're having a tough time. In fact, my office has been in contact with several folks today and not been able to get through. And it has certainly slowed our recovery. I find it appalling that folks, the House Democrats in North Carolina, said that they wanted to see North Carolina rebuild, and yet they voted to shut the government down. Here's the other interesting thing. In the clean resolution, we had $21.5 billion additional disaster relief funding that Democrats are saying no to for North Carolina. It most certainly has disrupted the momentum that we've built over the last few months, and I'd rather see us get back to full functionality.
Well, we certainly hope that that will take place speedily. Thank you so much, Congressman Chuck Edwards of North Carolina. It's great to have you on the program. We appreciate you coming on.